We're setting every single AFC Bournemouth player a challenge this season. Well, kind of. We just want to see something, whether it's important, whether it's serious, whether it's silly. But either way, we need it to happen. Welcome to Back of the Net. This is an AFC Bournemouth podcast. My name is Sam Davis.
My name's Tom Jordan.
We're taking a look at afcb.co.uk and we're going through the list of players. By the way, if you're brand new here though, there's a couple of things that you can do to help us, and it'll also help you as well. One of which involves a thumb.
Yeah, the fun button is a like, and you've got to just really appreciate that because, you know, we're going for a tough time at the moment with the Dom news. So yeah, click the like button. If you hit the bell, you'll know when all the videos are out. And then if you hit the big fat subscribe button, that'll be most appreciated.
Here we go then. Let's hit up the website and we're going to start off with, firstly, Neto. Tom, what do you want to see from him?
A lot. I would like to see a big improvement if he's going to, at the moment, it seems like he'll probably be the number one. And yeah, I want to see, from a goalkeeping perspective, because I think he shows good leadership qualities and we hear a lot about what he's like behind the scenes. But I want to see him dominating his box more, catching more balls, just taking that responsibility a little bit more. Because you are the leader, you are the captain, and I don't want him on his goal line. I want him to show a bit of a physical presence and come out and try and claim things. So yeah, in general, I would say like dominating the box a little bit more.
For me, I love my pizza, and I love it when we get a 50% off voucher with El Marino, which, if you're not a Bournemouth fan, if Neto keeps a clean sheet at home, we get a half-price pizza. So I'm going to set the challenge. I want to see it at least 8 times. 8 times. I want to see 8 clean sheets. I want to be paying less at least that many times. Right, Mark Travers.
Ooh. Well, I think this one's obvious. He's currently, I would say, he's the number 2, isn't he? So if you're going to stay here, show us that you can be the number 1. I think there's been a few games back end of last season when he's come in. I don't really think he lets us down. But if Neto were to make a mistake, or you get your opportunity in a cup game, or whatever, just show us and the gaffer that you're more than capable, because you're not a kid anymore. So yeah, show us you could be the number 1. If he ends up going out on loan, for example, then you can still do that, you know, by performing like he did when he was at Stoke. So yeah, just prove yourself, basically.
And you know, if he does prove himself, whether he's at us or he's at another club, hopefully my challenge is for him to force his way into contention for Ireland. Now, we know he's often named in squad. I want to see him start a game.
Yeah.
I'd love to see that.
I think because you've got Bazunu, who was at them lot for a bit, and then you've got Kelleher. But I always think, don't get me wrong, Kelleher always looks good, so I can see why he tends to be the number 1 for Ireland, but he's a number 2 goalkeeper at Liverpool, so he's not playing. So Travers, yeah, try and force yourself. I like that.
What about Alex Paulson then? He's a player that we've got through the door, but he's gone back out on loan, controversially to some.
Yeah, it sounds that way. His former club ain't too pleased. I'm not sure about they were saying about the legitimacy of it, whether he's actually allowed to, but I'm sure they've done their due diligence. But either way, he's going to go out on loan. He's at Auckland. And yeah, just want to see him show the potential that we've heard about him, really. We heard little bits before we signed him, then we saw in the Olympics him perform well. So yeah, just show the potential that we've heard about him, and hopefully we look at him and go, yeah, he's a future number 1.
I want to see him put in some astounding performances on loan. So much so, I want social media going mad. And you know where people clip up the saves and all his goalkeeping antics? I want that to happen. I want it to be shared. And I want Premier League fans to be looking, thinking, oh my God, we need this kid. Oh, he's at Bournemouth.
Yes.
That's what I want. Hopefully, we'll get it. Finally, in the goalkeeper department, Will Dennis.
Oh, lovely Will. I hope you're watching, Will, and if you are, keep watching the pod.
That's your challenge.
That's the main thing. But if you fancy it as well, you could try and play some football again. I think, listen, I think Will, when he's played very sporadically, but we saw him at Wrexham, he done really well. And I think Kilmarnock, when he went on loan there, they loved him. I think that was big for him. He's been out of kind of lower league in the in England, in the like lower down the pyramid. And I think going to SPL and playing, I think done him really well. So yeah, I think if you will, Dennis, go and play some football. I don't want him to go, but equally I'm kind of like, I just think you should play. But more importantly, just make sure you've hit the subscribe button.
Do you know what I really like about Will is that during the off-season, he's still keeping himself fit by doing, and I don't know if I've mentioned this before, a park run. And I saw his park run time. It was decent, but if you do it again, Will, I want you to improve on your park run time. That's important, right? Okay, next then we're moving...
Same to you, by the way. Keep improving.
I'm trying. Dean Howson then, our new defender. We've seen glimpses of him in the previous friendly against Girona. What do you reckon? Challenge?
Yeah, that's got to be it, really. I think he looks like a real promising player, doesn't he? But yeah, I think when you get opportunities, force yourself into that team, you will get chances. And don't let anyone else back in, mate. It happens a lot. We'll come to, for example, Adam Smith, who kind of forced his way in, and then there was an injury to Aarons, and he wouldn't let him back. And that's what he's got to do. If he comes in from, let's say, a Senesi suspension, for example, then come in, don't let him back in the team. I think that would be mine.
We all saw his highlights reel when he joined. And for me, I want to see him score another worldie from outside the box, because that goal he scored where he took it forward and caressed it with the inside of his right foot into the back of the net against Frosinone for Roma, he was on loan with. I would absolutely love to see that. So I want that from you this season. What about Milos Kerkez?
He's a weird one. I love Milos. We obviously, when we were out of the States, we saw the open training session, and he was absolutely chaotic.
He's so highly strung.
Yeah, unbelievable. But he was good. But you thought, Blenheim, that's what I'm going to say. Just but in more of a composure. I want to see him show a little bit of composure, because he's so good, but he is a left back. Well, that's where you would expect him to play. So a little bit more composure defensively, and just in general, a little bit more composure. And but you don't want to take too much away from him, because I love the way he is. But yeah, if he's a little bit more composed, he could be a top level fullback in the Premier League.
Absolutely. For me, stop posting weird social media posts where you're making Bournemouth fans worry.
Yeah,
there were a couple of them last season. There was one where he posted a picture of Raheem Sterling that made him think, these Chelsea links. Is there any gravitas to this? I don't like it, Milos. Just post normal stuff as well. That would be handy. Chris Mepham then. I mean, he's so reliable, that player. What can you really say about him? Because essentially you could set him the challenge of force your way into the side, but that's been the same old story since day one.
Yeah, that's been him ever since he come in. And like I say, 99% of the time he doesn't let us down. Listen, the window's not closed yet, so if he were to go, whether it be a loan or permanent, then if that's the case, then just play and keep being reliable to whatever team you're at, mate. But I think I'm speaking to him like I'm actually speaking to him. So yeah, Chris, listen up. But yeah, if you play for us, just remain consistent when you're called upon. I mean, I don't know what more I can say. And also I'll add to that wherever you are and if you're playing, keep yourself in that Wales squad, because he's still been pivotal to them. And I don't want to see him dropping out because he's not getting the game time. So yeah, see what happens with Meps. I'm not sure yet, but just remain consistent when called upon.
And with that in mind, I want to see him start. My challenge is for him to start at least 10 games this season. That could be optimistic, but look, cup competitions, also the league as well. 10 games, I'll be happy with that, and maybe he would too. Just keep your name in the mind of the Welsh manager.
If we go into cup games and we're going, let's rest Sabani and Celestia, we've got Mepham, Hill and Howson.
We are massive.
The FA Cup?
Maybe. Adam Smith then, Tom. This one is so difficult as well, because it seems that we have or will have a plentiful choice of options at right back.
Yeah, it does. And like I previously mentioned, he forced his way in when I don't think anyone really saw it. People thought, right, he's going to go into that squad role now because Max has come in. But Max got an injury. Adam Smith wouldn't let him back in, as I said. So yeah, continue that. Keep that right back spot, because another competition, because let's be honest, he had Aarons last season. Didn't really have Ryan Fredericks. Now with a new signing, I think it's even more competition for him. And also keep showing that leadership, because I think he's really growing into a player that's, he's been here the longest, and he's showing that on the pitch, I think, showing real leadership qualities and rolling back the years, as you say. So yeah, just keep it up, keep that right back spot, and don't let anyone in.
Part of his game is being a little bit of a shithouser. Want to see more of that?
Yeah.
I want to see, you know what, this is a terrible thing to say, because we do not condone bad sportsmanship, but get at least 10 yellows maybe. And space them out though. Make sure we don't want any suspensions or anything like that, but at least 10 yellows.
I reckon he'll get 5 in the first 10 games.
That'd be good.
Yeah. Every other game. Do you know what I mean? He is always my little bang. If you said to me, who's going to get booked today, I'll just say Smith. Or Senesi, who's coming up actually.
Yeah, Senesi, that's one to think about. Right, James Hill then. Yeah. This is an interesting one, because he's another one that's trying to forge his path into the side.
Yeah, difficult one, because I think there's been key indication, in my opinion, that Andoni quite likes him. He brought him back, obviously from his loan, where they quite liked him at Blackburn. The problem was he got injured, so stay fit is an obvious one, and prove yourself really, whether that be out on loan or playing in cup games. I think just show us, like we said about a few, that you are one for the future, because I think it's going to be very difficult for him to be a regular for us. So when you're called upon, don't let us down. A bit of a mep and mould, if you like, because I think on the whole, when I've seen him, I've always thought he's pretty solid.
Yeah, absolutely. Just look at his Instagram now, James. I think the number of followers you've got for a Premier League footballer is quite poor. So you're on 19,000 at the moment. Really? I think you should be hitting 30 by the end of the season. Get your posts up, do a few stories.
He seems like quite a funny guy as well, doesn't he?
He's a great guy.
Come on, I want that at least 30k. Good shout.
30k by the end of the season. Please, Marcos Senesi then, mate.
Oh.
I mean, he's a god. He's a god. I love him.
Yeah,
I love him.
Can I just say, just keep being handsome? It's a bit...
He's gorgeous.
He is gorgeous, isn't he? Let's go. We joked about him getting a lot of yellows like Smithy. Let's say fewer yellows and more goals. Fewer yellows, more goals. Because I think he's so good from set pieces and stuff. Gets himself in good areas. He seems like a goal threat, weirdly, doesn't he? So fewer yellows, more goals.
I want to say the international thing, really, for him, because I want to see him playing for his country. But really, what do I want to see more of? Pictures of him and Kelsey, the power couple on Instagram. They will have beautiful children.
Oh, God.
I mean, we're not saying it's going to go that far. You never know. They got busy lives. They got busy lives.
Nah, just get on with it.
There you go. There you go, Marcos. You've been told. What about Ilya Zabani then, mate?
Oh, God. What I'm going to say for this one, because he's so consistent, he's so brilliant, we love him. But I'm going to go, I think, did he only get one? Was it in that Luton game?
Yeah, the one that was nearly cleared off the line.
I want to see him score at least 2 headers. He's good in the air. I want him to be more of a threat from set pieces. So I'm going to say at least get a couple of headers from corners, free kicks.
Now, he was known as, I think, one of the bright talents on Football Manager or something like that. And I think a lot of people were noticing when he came to Bournemouth. And I think last season at the start, he went under the radar, but Bournemouth fans are talking about him. Let's make other fans talk about him too, because we know that he's not going to be here forever. So, look, we need the money in the bank. So let's keep his value high. Yeah. Keep yourself in the spotlight, Ilya. And that just means stay consistent. And I want to see you putting in some amazing challenges. He did a couple at Crystal Palace last season away, which were like superb.
I don't want to
more of that
because I just want to keep him as long as we can, but we all are aware how good he can be. Van Dijk replacement at Liverpool. Remember I told you.
All right then, Max Aarons as well. This is a very interesting one. Tom, where are you going with this? Set him a challenge.
Well, I remember when we signed him, we spoke to Chris Reeves, didn't we, Norwich fan?
Yeah, Talk Norwich City, great channel.
They're one of my favourites, actually. I was kind of warm to Norwich because of Chris Reeves.
Have you?
Yeah, I like him. But we spoke to him and they're really happy with Jack Stacey, for example, because they got their own right back. And we were asking him about Max, and we all kind of knew that he's a really exciting player who's been linked with big clubs. But Chris Reeves said, don't worry, he's never injured. And that's such a Bournemouth thing that he comes in, gets injured. So prove him right, please, and don't turn into an injury-prone player. I know you don't want to, but yeah, keep yourself fit. And if you keep yourself fit, you'll get enough minutes, and we'll have a real good battle there at fullback. And I think I've said to you before, I remember watching the England under-21s when they won it. He was left back, and we haven't seen it much, but he was left back in the final, and he looked good there. So yeah, just show that you can be a bit versatile. He's got the legs, so yeah, don't be injury-prone and get yourself playing.
And my challenge is going to be difficult. Just give Adam Smith some more competition and just show Andoni what you can do. Look, it's not just him you're competing against by the looks of it. Therefore, in my opinion, you just need to show yourself a little bit more and just show us why we signed you. That would be really handy. Next, we're moving on to the midfield. But firstly, can I just say something? Look at this little bad boy.
Oh yeah, I like that.
And this is my friend Sarah, her daughter, like Imogen. She made this for me.
Which made one?
Yeah, she just made one.
Oh, fair enough.
Imogen. I think Tom wants one as well. However, yeah, what's going on there? This is a thing of beauty. Thank you so much for that, Imogen. I will absolutely treasure that. I said I'd give you a shout out, and there it is. A beautiful thing, and I wear it daily. So thank you very much. We also say thank you very much to Leeds United for Lewis Cook, because he is an absolute baller. And I think we need to set him a couple of challenges, mate. One of them might be obvious.
Yeah, I'm going to go, he's got to score a goal. Because I think he was nearly perfect last season. Honestly, he was so good, and he feels quite complete as a footballer, doesn't he? And I know he's played a bit deeper. But yeah, I'm just going to say he can hit them. We've seen it in the past. So yeah, notch a few goals, I would say.
Yeah. And for me, make yourself ready and available with some good performances for England, whoever the manager's going to be. Look, Lee Carsley, we know is going to be in charge temporarily. We don't know beyond that. However, I'd love to see him named in an England squad, because there are some comparisons with him with Conor Gallagher.
Well, yeah, I was just looking at and don't get me wrong, Wharton looks like a really good player for Palace, and obviously Kobe Mainoo's come through. You got Conor Gallagher. I remember them talking about Curtis Jones for a bit, and these are all good players, Harvey Elliott. But I just think, why is Lewis Cook not in that conversation? Because I wouldn't swap him for many of them. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I think Lewis will, if he keeps performing like he is, there's got to be a new manager, whoever that be. They'll start kind of looking a little bit more broadly, I think, because you won't have kind of your favourites that you trust. I think Lewis could get himself in there.
In terms of David Brooks, I'm going to start this one, and this is going to be really difficult because we don't know where he's going to be at this season at this point in time. And one thing I would just say is I want a pre-season. So this is, quite a long challenge, because by this time next season, I don't want Cherries fans to be mentioning the L word, like loan them out. Like that's what we should do, because you know what? It's been a really tough time for him, of course, but we want to be saying, let's have him in the squad. We don't want to be loaning him out. And that's the thing we seem to be saying a lot. So in my mind, it's just, let's eradicate even any slight thought of being loaned out. That's my wish.
No, I see what you're saying there, mate. And what's difficult when I talk about David Brooks, I always think a lot of it is just not on him. Do you know what I mean? We know how good a footballer he is, and he keeps getting these knockbacks. So I really feel for him. So yeah, it's a good shout, mate. Let's see if he can get himself, fully fit and healthy, and he can be playing football for Bournemouth. That'd be perfect. But I'm just going to say, I'm going to be simple and say, don't go back to them lot ever again. What's the point of that?
What is the point in that? Right, next, Romain Favre. And this is an interesting one because he did a lot of good during pre-season. We were over there covering some of the games, and there were some moments where he showed us these sparks. His last touch sometimes let him down. It's almost like he was too eager to show Andoni what he was all about. But then in one of the last friendlies, wow.
What a nutmeg that was. So show us more of them when you get on the pitch. Some sexy nutmegs. Yeah, because he's got a lot of flair in it. Yeah, I saw a few people posting on Twitter that, and I agreed, when he come on in the game, I know it's pre-season, it looked like it was so easy. Like he was just gliding around the pitch. And you could put that down to, come on, have a bit more. So you can look at it in a negative, but I just really like that he looks so confident for a player that hasn't really played. But I'm going to say, obviously some more sexy nutmegs, but show us what position you are as well.
Yeah.
He's come on in like the 8 role, and I remember watching him for Lorient, and he was like a double pivot in the centre midfield. Then I've seen him in the 10, then I've seen him wide right. I'm not really sure. And you need to put down a position and say, Andoni, this is where I'm needed. So do that.
For me, is just, look, we know that he set up Jefferson. I'm not convinced that it wasn't a shot, but it's just to get your final touch right. That's my opinion.
You saw Jebbo.
Look, mate, people are naming him in the squad. They're in their first 11 already, saying, "Oh yeah, he needs to start off one nutmeg."
Oh, it was good.
Come on, let's be serious.
Oh, just feed the Jeb.
Show us more of that. Get your final touch right, and then maybe people will be vindicated for saying just that. Ryan Christie, then.
I mean, it's similar to Lewis Cook, isn't it? Almost flawless last season. I've got to say, score some goals, because that's the only thing that it's, that we talk about, really.
But hang on.
Yeah.
I listened to the Little Old Bournemouth song from Tom Wilkins.
Oh, yeah,
He said, Ryan Christie producing the goals.
He obviously goes week in, week out. That was strange. I quite love the chorus, actually.
Love the chorus.
Prove Tom Wilkins right, produce some goals. But yeah, listen, I think the turnaround in that player and getting that position, his own, and literally nearly flawless, apart from score some goals. So very similar to Lewis, but he gets in the positions more than Lewis. So I think he should be scoring some more. We literally just saw the winner at Swansea in the cup. So yeah, score some more goals, Ryan.
For me, this is a bit of a quirky one, but we sing that song about him making Ryan Fraser look shite.
How's Fraser, by the way?
How is Fraser? I want, when you're coming off, if you're being substituted and you walk around in front of the North Stand, right? When we sing that song, just give us a little thumbs up.
Something, a little
when
wink,
we sing that song, a sort of nod of approval. I know your teammates for Scotland or whatever.
Oh yeah,
not really, but you were. But just do that.
How did Fraser do in the Euros?
Yeah. Alex Scott.
Ooh. I'm going to say a little bit similar to what I said about Fev.
Yeah.
Because Alex Scott, hell of a player. But I want to know exactly what his position. I know he's a central midfield player, but we've just spoke about how good Christie and Lewis are. We've obviously still got Tyler Adams that we'll come on to when he's fit as well. Is he a 10? I'm not sure he is, but then I think he's so good driving forward. You need to show us what that role is, because I've seen him sit deep, be the presser, be the 10, kind of show us your role, and and please just don't go to Tottenham yet.
Not yet. For me, it's obviously to stay fit, but just be linked with England. Just be linked. I'm not saying that you need to be named in the squad. Just be linked on the lips of other Premier League fans.
Lewis and Scott in the middle, Ellingham in front.
That would be beautiful. Marcus Tavernier, then. What do you think?
Yeah, I think Tav's pretty. You could say again, I don't want to do the same with all of them, like in terms of score more goals, but he showed signs and then he kind of drifted. But I'm going to say, on Match of the Day, they do like little features randomly at some point.
Oh, what? Individual players?
Yeah, I want to see a little 3-minute feature.
At some point this season?
Yeah, on Marcus Tavernier.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
For me, this might be a tricky one. Outscore your brothers, SPL tally, because is he a right back?
Yeah, but he takes
pens.
pens, yeah. And obviously Rangers smash everyone bar Celtic, so he scores a lot of goals, but yeah, that's a great one. I like that.
Outscore him if you can. What about Tyler Adams then, mate?
I'm going to go start 10 games if you can. I mean, listen, we know he's a quality player. I mean, we went out to the States and they like worship him because...
Did we go out to the States? We never mentioned that.
Yeah, they love him. And he's clear, and every time I've seen him, I think there's clearly a player there. Let's just start 10 games, I'm going to say.
Yeah, for me, it's so difficult because that dye your hair a different colour at some point.
Yeah.
That's what I want. Please. Because I think you'd look good with that.
Yeah.
Hamed Traore then.
Oh, God.
What are we going for, Tom?
You just do what we did in the last one, trying to play some... No, and listen, if he stays here, don't really know what's going on yet. Again, he just randomly wasn't in the squad the last game. I'm never really sure. But I don't want to go too much into it because I know he did have an illness, so I don't know if that's affecting him, blah, blah, blah. So I'll just say, if you are here and you're in the squad, get your first Premier League goal.
Yeah, okay.
Probably be off the bench, but try and nick your first Premier League goal.
For me, it's just to give us a little glimpse of your value. We paid a lot. Yeah. We loaned you out, maybe wanting the club that you went to be maybe splashing the cash, but it didn't work out. Yeah. Just give us a glimpse of your value. That would be great. Gav Kilkenny then. This is a tough one because he's one of these pre-season players that does so well. You think he could do a job and he never gets a chance to do that job. I don't want to be like Gav. I know you're watching. I don't want to be never mentioning your name again until next pre-season. Goes done well again, isn't he? Pre-season, because you're always good in pre-season. I was watching was it the Wrexham game? He started in the midfield. I think he was just knocking it about. Yeah. This Gav's good, isn't he? Yeah. But it's been like that for so long. And my concern is, I don't know why, but he's gone out on loan a few times and none of them worked. And as much as I don't like saying it's not a horrible way to go and leave, but go and play football, Gav. Yeah. There's just no point. And I've just sitting there. I think go and play some football. It's simple as that. For me, it's similar to some of the other ones. Get involved in Ireland conversations as well. Because you know what? Their midfield, they've got some strength there, but there's no reason why you can't forge your way in. So get involved in the chatter when it comes to the internationals. Philip Billing then. Well, that's perfect because I was going to say for Billing, get in the Denmark squad. Yeah. I know it's going to be difficult, Phil. We don't know what's going to happen. He's been named in the squads before, right? He's named in the squads before. And I look at Denmark, and don't get me wrong, they've got some good players. But there's some in that midfield, I think, Bill, on your day, you could easily get in the squad, and he's never really looked at anymore. And I know he isn't playing as regularly. But yeah, you're going to get opportunities, whether it be with us or elsewhere. I'm not sure what's happening yet, but try and get yourself in there, mate. One thing I would say, right, some people look at Phil Billing and think, oh, he's uninterested just because of his kind of demeanour, the way he glides around the pitch, very pedestrian, but he covers a lot of ground. Why don't you throw a spanner in the works, Phil? When you score a goal this season, I think you will, if you're with us, hopefully you are, just kiss the badge. Just do that. Just something. Watch the reaction. Watch the reaction. I was going to say kiss Heather. Maybe not. However, kiss the badge and see what happens. Give it a bit. I always think that sometimes, I've had my criticism on Neto, for example, and then we'll score a goal down the other end and he'll go mental. Like, I love him. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're easy to please. Just give us a bit. Yeah, badge kiss. Love that. Dango Ouattara then. For me, I've said it a few times, best player in pre-season. The obvious one is work on your end products because he literally, in some games, he's beaten the whole team and then he fluffs it up. What I will say is, though, in the last game, really good assist, so that is your end product, so fair play. And first and foremost, I wasn't sure if this guy is going to have it. And this pre-season, as I say, best player, so keep proving me wrong. Because for me, obviously we're not quite there yet, but for me, for that first Premier League game, I'd start him. I think he's been brilliant. So yeah, prove me wrong, keep doing it. You know what else he doesn't do right, mate?
Go on.
Knee slides. His knee slides. I mean, that one at Spurs, awful.
Absolute limbs. He didn't know what he was doing, did he? Whereas, like, who was it? Was it Senesi that done one?
Senesi.
Perfect knee slide.
His knee slides are great. So if you score and you knee slide, make sure you do it towards the edge of the pitch, not just literally 2 metres after you've just scored.
Yeah.
Come on, sort your knee slides out. Right. Luis Sinisterra next. He scored in pre-season, for both games, and really interesting one for this season. But what do you want?
He is, like you say, mate. He's really interesting because he comes in and out of games, but I think he's a goal threat, so that's big. So I'm going to go a little bit different here. Everyone knows that I quite liked Lerma when he was here.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. So what I did is I bought 2 Columbia shirts. One of them signed by the big man himself, so that's stored away. The other one, I've just got it.
Yeah.
Make me bring it back out. We're going to be here doing a second look, and I'm going to have my Columbia shirt on because he's just got a brace. That's what I want. City, make me still keep that Columbia shirt.
Love that. For me, score double figures this season.
That's a good shout.
Score double figures because we know you are capable. Let's see that happen. What about Justin Cliver then, mate? Because this one is a tricky one because he did contribute to the goals a fair bit last season.
And he's played one pre-season game and scored obviously from the spot. So could say, we don't know yet, but maybe make yourself a penalty taker. Could be a shout.
Oh yeah, that was a good penalty, by the way.
It was very cool. But what I'm going to say is, as I think we said we went out to the States.
Yeah.
So when we're out there, not all Americans, some fans over here as well, accidentally when they're talking about Clive, say Patrick.
Oh, are you having a go at me here?
Maybe. So be that good that when people are talking about you, they say Justin because you've made it your own. You're Cliver. I know it's difficult. Your dad was bloody good. But stop people like Sam accidentally saying Patrick.
Okay, for me, I want to see you play for the Netherlands this season.
So it's interesting when we're talking about this. There's quite a lot that should be forcing themselves.
Yeah.
We've said it a few times. I think there was a few, I saw a few Netherlands fans or people on Twitter that obviously support the Netherlands saying that they wanted him in the squad. So he's knocking on the door, mate. I like that.
What about Antoine Semenyo then? This could be a big season for him, I think, because, especially the last 2/3 of last season, he really came into his own. He is a baller.
He is brilliant. I love him. And yet, I don't think he's going to be a striker. I think he's too good out wide. He might have to play a little bit there, particularly at the start of the season. Unau's out. Obviously, Dom's gone. But in general, take a bit of the responsibility off Dom because I think he's got the capabilities of obviously scoring a lot of goals. But yeah, just taking that responsibility level off going, we've mentioned Cini, mentioned Justin. I think Semenyo could be a real handful for teams. So yeah, take a bit of that responsibility off the fact that we've lost Dom.
Mine's a bit off the wall. I think he did it at Liverpool. We did it a number of times last season. I certainly remember him doing the backflip at Liverpool because that's what I want. I want to see at least 5 backflips this season.
Do the Ken win, I call it.
I don't look if we're getting pummeled 4-0 by Manchester City and we score a consolation. I don't expect you to do it then.
4-1 against City, I'll take it.
That's what, and then do a backflip.
Improvement.
Nah, a bit too much. But I want to see it at least 5 times.
Yeah.
What about Enes Unal then, mate?
Oh yeah, I mean the obvious one would be to obviously stay fit because it's a real shame. I think a good pre-season would have been really important for him. But just alluded to the fact that we've obviously lost Dom. Not sure what's going to happen in terms of a replacement, but you've got an opportunity to make yourself the main man up top. We haven't seen loads here, but good goal scoring record in La Liga. Make yourself the main man.
Absolutely. Simple. And you know what? My aim for him, and this might be tricky because we don't know who from the Echo is going to be covering AFC Bournemouth next season. Tom Crocker, sad to see him go. Yeah. Jack Tanner before that as well. However, make the Echo use the headline Turkish Delight at some point during the season. Right? I want to see it.
I love him, boy. Turkish Delight is rank, innit?
I don't mind Turkish Delight at all.
You're a wrong un.
Jadon Anthony then, mate. What do you want to see from him? We don't know where he's going to be.
No, we don't. Obviously, it was a shame that the loan didn't work for him because that could have really helped him. But I've said a few times on here, so I don't want to repeat myself too much. I feel like he's the type of player that Andoni will like because of his work rate, his pressing. So show Andoni and us that we can't afford to let you go out on loan because you're a good option in the squad. So yeah, show us that you're too important to let out on loan again because you can really benefit us off the bench. It not only, even though he's an attacking player, if we need a goal, but also if we're defending because of how much you help the fullback. Yeah. So yeah, show us that we can't afford to let you go.
I remember in our promotion season under Parker, I was stood just waiting for the players to come out, and then he walked past and he smelt so good.
Oh yeah, maybe telling me.
I think him and Jay-Z wearing the same perfume, like
cool.
aftershave. Joe Malone. I want to know which one it is. However, that's not mine. It's score at least 3 cup goals, Jayden.
Don't mind that.
It's doable. Come on, you can do it. Finally, Daniel Jefferson as well.
Dad Jefferson. Hang
on.
Jefferson. I'll just make that up.
Jefferson was a blade. Now he's got a bucket and spade. 1.5 million down the drain. Jefferson scored.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll work on that. I'll tell you what, I'm thinking, I was going to say if you go out on loan, because I just assumed he would. I mean, it was virtually said, I think it might have been Mark McCallum or Chris Temple saying when we signed him he'll go out on loan. Obviously, Unal's injury, obviously what's happened to Dom, he's had to play quite a lot in pre-season. I'm not sure if he will now because he's kind of proven he might have something. But if you do go out on loan, because there's still a big possibility, a lot of the market to go and bag double figures, because I think you're capable, whether that be Championship, League One, Scotland, wherever.
Yeah.
If not, just prove that you can make a challenge. You can be around the squad, and when called upon, help us. So, because I think he hasn't done himself any harm in pre-season, mate. So yeah, prove yourself, whether that be out on loan or with us.
Now, you'll have seen our release video for Julian Araujo. I think that's how to pronounce it, but it's too early days. We're not going to set him any challenges just yet, but we've been through the whole lot. Have we got a cheeky one for Andoni Iraola?
Andoni Iraola, what can we say for him?
It's a difficult one, isn't it?
I want to like a real, because he's quite reserved.
Yeah.
When we win a game, but like when he comes over and we give him all the chance, just lose it. Just lose it. Something like that. But just keep it. I don't really want him to change much, to be honest.
For me, 3 words: Monday night football.
That seems to go well for some, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. There you go then. That is what we want for each person at AFC Bournemouth, including Iraola. What do you want to see? Let us know in the comments below. It's been lovely to chat to you. We'll see you in the next one. Up the cherries.
Up the cherries. Jebbo the hearts. I really want to get him a good song.